Thank you. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. It's really great to be here. There's a wave, a blue wave sweeping right across our country, and you're on the forefront of it here in Ottawa, and we're so thrilled that you're part of this campaign, our campaign to build a better Canada. Last night I was in Kingston, Ontario, the seat formerly held by the Speaker of the House of Commons. House of Commons. And we have a fantastic candidate there. Alicia Gordon is her name, and she's coming on strong. We're going to win all kinds of seats in this election that have been traditionally held by the Liberals, and we've got a fantastic array of new candidates, including some fabulous new women who are running right across the country for our party, and we're going to see a fabulous complexion to the House of Commons when we see the results on May the 2nd. People stop me everywhere and say, "Duff, why are we having this election?" And I say, "Duh, how would I know?" It really is a mystery. But consider this. Despite all of his bluster and bravado, Michael Ignatieff faces what I call mission impossible. Just have a look at the numbers. 308 seats in the House of Commons. It takes 155 for a majority. At the dissolution of Parliament, when they blocked the passage of our important and very positive budget, the standings were 143 Conservatives, 12 away from a majority, 77 Liberals, 47 Bloc, and 36 NDP. So there we are, 12 seats short of a majority. Michael Ignatieff is 78 seats away from a majority. And consider this, the Liberals do not have one member of Parliament, not one, in a rural riding west of New Brunswick. And between the Ontario-Manitoba border and the Pacific Ocean, they have 8 or 9 MPs, including our buddy Larry in Whitehorse, who I think will be saying sayonara to him too. So the Liberals are pocketed, 4 in the lower mainland of BC, 1 in Regina, 2 in Winnipeg. The West is a wasteland for the Liberals. The Atlantic is their last big cities in the Atlantic. So people across the country have gotten the message that there is one party that's on their side. And so when they talk about a coalition, an arrangement, an understanding, what will there be if Michael Ignatieff attempts to take power? There's no way, given the current situation, that he can win a majority government. So no matter what they say about the word coalition or arrangement or understanding or under the table deal, when he's got to get those 78 seats, if you fold in all of the dippers, you still have to depend on the Bloc Québécois to get your driver's license, to get your marching orders. They'll be calling the shots. So at the end of the day, don't fear. Canadians get it. The Liberals are going to propose a coalition government in all but name, because that's the only way they can get near power. Now, I don't want to steal Rusty's line, so I'll move on, because I could raise questions about, like, they're unveiling a platform today, how much will that cost? And at the end of the day, John, whose platform are they going to implement? Would it be Michael Ignatieff? Or would it be Jack Layton's? Or would it be Gilles Ducep's? Or a little something for everyone? Pretty soon we're talking real money here. They're giving away $1 billion a day that we don't have. By God, by the end of this, who knows what their numbers will be. The other thing the Liberals and the New Democrats like to say about us is that we're all a bunch of rednecks. Well, let me tell you, the Conservative Party of Canada has been there for Canadians from the very beginning. Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister, was a Conservative. And right through the piece, from Sir John A., right through John Diefenbaker, Joe Clark, Brian Mulroney, and now Stephen Harper, Conservative governments have been there for Canada. We're the party, well, let me ask you the question. Which was the party that gave women the right to vote? Yeah, you got it. It wasn't the Liberals, and it wasn't the New Democrats or the CCF. It was Canada's Conservatives. And Canada's Conservatives gave Aboriginals the right to vote. And John Diefenbaker, our Conservative Prime Minister, gave us our first Bill of Rights, and he appointed the first woman to the Cabinet of Canada, Ellen Fairclough from Hamilton. And Dief, the Chief, consider this, brought simultaneous translation to the floor of the House of Commons. Now, why would I mention that as an important first? Well, consider the fact that all through the war, Mackenzie King, the great Liberal Prime Minister who dominated Quebec at that time, did not have simultaneous translation, nor did his successor, Louis Saint-Laurent, a distinguished lawyer from Quebec City. It took John Diefenbaker, born in Ontario and raised in Saskatchewan, to say, we have to allow Canadians to communicate together, and this device allows us to do that. He wanted Canadians from coast to coast to coast to be able to talk about the important issues of the day. Once again, Conservatives come through for real people. We're also the party of the most diverse ethnic caucus. We had Douglas Jung, who was elected in Vancouver, a war hero from the Second World War. Lincoln Alexander, God bless him, still going strong down in Hamilton. Not only the first black MP, the first black cabinet minister, the list goes on and on and on. We have the most diverse caucus in the House of Commons, and we're really proud of that. Conservatives have been there for Canadians. We've taken tough stands for the GST and free trade. Free trade, which allowed us to have the most buoyant economy, and the GST, which allowed the Martin government to take credit for eliminating the deficit and paying down the debt, as Preston used to say. Conservatives, against the determined opposition of the Liberals, have stood up for Canada and for what is right time and time and time again, and we will continue to do so under the inspired leadership of Stephen Harper. They run around and say, oh, we're rednecks and Neanderthals and all this kind of stuff. It's absolute BS. Who invented the Canada Council, which provides the cultural funding and has for more than 50 years for our orchestras, our art galleries, all of the artistic endeavors in Canada? It was a Conservative government that invented the Canada Council. It was also a Conservative government that invented the CBC. Well, I never said we were perfect. So over the next few days, just remember, we have been here, the Conservative Party's been here since day one, and we've always had the same mission, is to look out for Canadians and to provide solid, honest, stable leadership. And that's what we need on May 2nd, a stable Conservative majority, and we need to keep this riding at John Barrett in order to do it. Now, before I get too carried away, I want to bring on a good friend of mine, who is my personal member of Parliament from Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, a very distinguished Canadian and my pal. We call him the Philosopher King on Parliament Hill because he always has words of wisdom. The Honourable Gordon O'Connor. Gordon.